You're scrolling again instead of doing the thing you promised yourself you'd start today. And every second you stay here is another second you reinforce the habit of quitting on yourself. That's not relaxation. That's self-sabotage in real time. You think you have discipline? No. You only have discipline when life is easy, when motivation shows up, and when nothing is uncomfortable. That is not discipline. That is permission-based effort. And right now, you are only working when it feels safe, which means you are not in control of your life. Let's stop pretending. You wake up with intentions, not execution. You say, today I'll be serious, then you open your phone. You say, I'll start after lunch, then the day disappears into distractions. And when it gets hard, you pause, you delay, you negotiate with yourself like failure is optional. And every time you choose comfort over discipline, you are training yourself to stay average. You don't lack time, you lack resistance to discomfort. And that is why your life keeps looking exactly the same. You might not like hearing that. Good. That reaction means something is still alive in you. Here is what you don't want to accept. Your brain is not designed for greatness. It is designed for efficiency, for energy saving, for avoiding effort. That's neuroscience. That's survival wiring. But discipline, real discipline, is when you override that wiring on purpose. Not when it's convenient, not when it feels right, but when everything in you says stop and you move anyway. That gap between impulse and action, that is where your future is decided. And right now, that gap is too small in your life. You sit down to work, but your phone is right there. Just one scroll, just one video, just one message. And suddenly 45 minutes are gone. You tell yourself you'll refocus later. But later never shows up clean. It always comes contaminated. Comfort is not rest. Comfort is decay disguised as relief. Here is your fix. Put your phone in another room for the first hour of your work. Not silent, not face down, gone. No access, no debate. So the question is, are you building discipline or feeding comfort? It starts small. I'll skip today. I'll do extra tomorrow. I'm not feeling 100%. And slowly, your standards disappear without you noticing. One compromise becomes a pattern becomes identity. And one day, you look up and realize you've been negotiating your whole life with the weakest version of yourself. Here's the truth. You don't need more motivation. You need refusal. Concrete action. Pick one non-negotiable task daily. Even on bad days. Even when tired. You do it anyway. So the question is, who runs your decisions, you or your excuses? You love starting. New plans, new routines, new versions of yourself. Day 1 feels powerful. Day 3 feels optional. Day 5 is gone. And you call it lack of consistency. No, it's lack of endurance. Starting is not discipline. Continuing when you hate it is. Fix it. Pick one task and do it for 20 minutes minimum every day. No skipping, no rebranding, no restart, just continuation. So the question is, are you a starter or a finisher? Deadlines make you alive. Urgency wakes you up. Last-minute panic makes you productive. But remove pressure, you collapse. That's not performance. That's panic-based functioning. And it is unstable. Because a life built on pressure will eventually break under pressure. Fix it. Create artificial deadlines. Tell someone your goal. Make it public. Add consequence. Because discipline without pressure is the real test. So the question is, do you want control or crisis-driven productivity? This is where it gets uncomfortable. Because maybe you're realizing this isn't about laziness. It's about patterns. Habits you've repeated for months. Maybe years. And that can feel heavy. I get it. Because changing how you operate is not just effort, it is identity friction. But here's the truth most people avoid. You are not stuck because you don't know what to do. You are stuck because you keep choosing what feels easier. And that is exactly why most people stay stuck. You don't build discipline in motivation. You build it in resistance. The moment your body says no and you say, watch me anyway, that moment. That's training. You think discipline is a feeling. It's not. It's repetition against resistance. If it feels easy, it is not building you. Fix it. Do one uncomfortable thing daily before anything enjoyable. Cold shower, hard workout, deep work first. No reward until resistance is faced. So the question is, are you avoiding discomfort or building strength? Every action is training. Every excuse is training. Every skipped task is training. You are not sometimes disciplined. You are becoming someone through repetition. Right now, you are training inconsistency, training delay, training escape, and repetition always wins over intention. Fix it. Pick one habit. Same time, same rule. No variation for 30 days. Because discipline is not built in inspiration, it is built in boredom. So the question is, what version of you are you training right now? Stop asking what you need to do. Start asking who you are becoming. Because your behavior is not random. It is identity confirmation. If you act weak in private, you are becoming someone who is weak in private. If you act disciplined when nobody is watching, you are becoming someone unbreakable. Now imagine this. You wake up, no debate, no delay. You move immediately, not because you feel like it, but because that is who you are. You don't try anymore. You execute. Your life becomes simple when your identity becomes clear. Not easy, but simple. And that version of you is not far away. It is one decision repeated long enough. Today is not a motivation day. It is a proof day. Right after this video, you are going to do one thing you've been avoiding. Not tomorrow, not after planning. Now. No announcement, no preparation, just action. Because discipline is not what you say you have. It is what you do when no one is watching. And if you remember only one thing from this video, remember this. Your life does not change when you feel ready. It changes when you refuse to wait. Next time, we go deeper into the habits that silently decide whether you rise or repeat the same year over and over again. But that only happens if you prove you're serious today.